strange thing is, nothing bad actually happened that night. No one followed me. No one touched me. And yet, years later, I still feel uneasy when my phone lights up in the dark because whatever I encountered didn't need to hurt me. It already knew enough. I downloaded the dating app on a quiet Sunday evening, not because I was lonely, but because I was bored. I had finished a long week at work and wanted something light, something casual. That was when I matched with Evan. His profile felt normal in a way that immediately lowered my guard. No overly filtered photos, no exaggerated gym shots, no try-hard captions. Just a man who worked in logistics, liked weekend hikes, and smiled like he wasn't performing for the camera. We talked for a few days, and the conversations felt easy. He didn't rush anything. He didn't push for personal details compared to most matches. It felt refreshingly balanced. After about a week, we decided to meet for dinner on a Wednesday night. He suggested the restaurant. It was in a quieter part of town, slightly nicer than the places I usually went, but not intimidating. When I arrived, I parked and texted him that I was there. He didn't reply. At first, I wasn't worried. People run late. I stood near the entrance, pretending to scroll through my phone while checking the door. Every time it opened, 10 minutes passed, then 20. I sent another message. Still nothing. By the 30-minute mark, the excitement I had felt earlier was replaced by embarrassment. The hostess glanced at me more than once before finally asking if I wanted a table. I told her I was waiting for someone. She checked the list and said no one under the name Evan had checked in. I had just decided to leave when a man walked straight up to me. He was older than Evan looked in his pictures, maybe mid-40s, with rough stubble and a black hoodie that seemed practical rather than stylish. He said my name out loud, confidently, like he already knew it was me. I hesitated, then said yes. He introduced himself as Daniel, Evan's brother. He told me Evan wasn't feeling well, but still wanted to meet me. According to him, Evan lived close by and didn't want to cancel last minute, so he asked Daniel to come get me and bring me over instead. His tone was calm, almost rehearsed, and that made my chest tighten. I asked why Evan hadn't texted me himself. Daniel said his phone had died and gave a small smile, like that explanation should settle everything. It didn't. I asked where Evan lived. Daniel said just a few blocks away, adding that the sidewalks were icy and driving would be easier. The way he said it felt too casual, like the decision had already been made. I told him I was fine walking and asked for the address. He paused just briefly, then said it would be better if he showed me. That pause was enough. I told him I'd rather reschedule and turned toward the door. He stepped in front of me, not aggressively, but deliberately enough to block my path. His voice stayed calm as he said Evan would be disappointed, and that he specifically asked him not to let me leave. I told him I would text Evan later. He stared at me for a few seconds, his expression flattening, then stepped aside and said, "Have a good night," in a tone that felt less like politeness and more like a warning. I walked to my car without looking back. I locked the doors the moment I got inside, As I pulled out of the parking lot, I saw him standing near the entrance, watching me drive away. Later that night, around 11, my phone buzzed. It was a message from Evan's profile. "Why didn't you come?" I explained everything, including his brother showing up at the restaurant. He replied immediately, "I don't have a brother." The conversation ended there. He stopped responding completely. I tried to sleep, telling myself it was just a strange misunderstanding. But around 1 in the morning, I got a notification that someone was trying to log into my email, then my bank app, then my Instagram, all within minutes. I changed every password and turned on every security setting I could find. The next morning, Evan's profile was gone. Around noon, I got a text from an unknown number. "You should have come with me." I blocked it, but the messages didn't stop. They came from different numbers, different area codes, each one short, vague, familiar in a way that felt intentional. One of the messages used my full legal name. That night, someone knocked on my apartment door. I was sitting on the couch, frozen, listening. The knock came again, louder this time. I thought about calling the police, but the silence that followed made me hesitate. When I checked the peephole, the hallway was empty. Moments later, I heard heavy footsteps moving down the stairs. The next day, I called the restaurant. They told me one of their servers had noticed a man in a hoodie pacing outside. For almost an hour before I arrived, he didn't come in until he walked straight up to me. A week later, while taking out the trash behind my apartment building, I found a folded piece of paper shoved under the dumpster handle. It had my name written on it. Inside was a printed photo of me standing in the restaurant lobby, looking down at my phone. The angle was from outside the window. Eventually, the messages stopped. Or maybe they just stopped letting me see them. Because Evan never existed. Someone created him. Someone expected me to leave that restaurant with them. And the only reason I didn't is because I trusted my instincts at the last possible second.